Hi, my name's Brian Dobias, and I'm currently a school counselor at Homestead High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is part of Southwest Allen County Schools. I also work as adjunct faculty in the College of Education and Public Policy for IPFW, where I work in the counselor education program. I first got involved with working on school connectedness and improving school climate back in 2004. At that time, we created the Spartan Mentor Program, which is a groups-based peer mentor program modeled after some high schools in the Chicago area that had had a lot of success with that format of program. And as we developed the program over the next few years, we learned a couple of things. And one was that our students were highly motivated to improve their schools. They put in a lot of time and energy. They gave up summer days to sit on a college campus and sit in classrooms while we taught them and trained them. And also that they were capable of absorbing information that we weren't sure they could handle. We were actually teaching them graduate level information like Tuckman's theory of group development and micro skills and things to improve their skill set as group facilitators. And we found that they could absorb that information and use it, and actually did quite a good job. Unfortunately, the Spartan Mentor Program was discontinued in 2009 when reductions to school funding caused a reduction in the staffing in our guidance department and ultimately the discontinuation of that program. And that was quite unfortunate, but I've continued to work with other area high schools on training their peer mentors each summer. And the Spartan Mentor Program itself has had some long-reaching effects. While it was in operation, the mentors from our Spartan Mentor Program were able to work with a couple of professors, Dr. Janice DeLucia-Wack out of University of Buffalo, SUNY, and Dr. Al Seacrest, who was Professor Emeritus from Purdue University's counseling program. They put together a DVD to train high school guidance counselors on how to work with adolescents in groups, and that's currently distributed through the American Counseling Association. During that project, our students had a chance to talk with Dr. Arthur Horn, who is the Dean of the School of Education at University of Georgia. And Dr. Horn is actually an expert on bullying and school violence. He worked for the United States Department of Education. He was a principal investigator for the Center for Disease Control and worked for the World Health Organization on violence in that capacity. And Dr. Horn was impressed by the fact that high school students were so committed to improving their school climate, and that they also were capable of delivering anti-bullying curriculum at the high school level. We talked about the fact that at the high school level, and Dr. Horn had written the Bully Busters books for elementary and middle school students, so he was pretty much aware of working at that level. At the high school level, we talked about the fact that unlike elementary and middle school, classroom time is quite precious, and teachers are working to meet state standards and to work on delivering the curriculum for their subject matter, which makes it a little more difficult for guidance counselors to go into classrooms. We also noted that high school students have seen messages about anti-bullying before at both the elementary and middle school levels. So however the message was delivered at the high school, it had to be more realistic and different than what they've already heard. And he felt that a peer mentor program was an excellent delivery system to do that. This prompted Dr. Horn to work on a project and bring together a team of people, including Bill Vors, who headed up the Midwest Bully Prevention Project, Dr. Jolliffe and Dr. Nitza from IPFW, to start working on curriculum, which we were able to pilot at Homestead. I was first a consultant on the project and later became one of the co-authors of the book. The book was published in 2012, in the spring of 2012, by Research Press. It's called Empowering Teen Peers to Prevent Bullying. It is not my position right now to promote that book over anything else. In fact, I feel pretty strongly that any high school in the state of Indiana is going to have to put together a program custom tailored to the needs of their students, their demographics, and their school's resources. And I believe only then can they come up with an effective program. I do feel pretty strongly that any program that's going to be effective should have a school climate component to it, and it has to be encompass the entire school. It can't just be isolated and talking with a small group of students. I feel that once a school climate can be improved, it creates a level of intolerance for acts of bullying, and the bullies themselves don't get quite the social collateral or reinforcement they get out of their so-called acts of bravado when they are bullying people. I believe that it helps improve the friendship base of some of the victims who typically are socially isolated, and it allows those students a chance to be a little more connected and therefore a little bit more protected from being a victim. And I think thirdly, it creates a forum where the bystanders can be more empowered to step up and intervene when the time comes. So I think climate has to be a part of any program. And working with other area high schools, as I have for about 8 years now, in training their peer mentors, my impressions of the students are constantly reinforced. I think the students have continued to be highly motivated to improve their schools, and I think when they're properly trained and instructed and a structure is in place, they're quite capable of doing that. That's the work I hope to continue. I hope I can become part of your project. Thank you.